faulty funnel. It had been a windy day on the island of Sodor, and Peter Sam had been puffing around the mountain slowly. His funnel had been wobbling for a few weeks. His old funnel had been damaged due to a slate crash with some trucks. Now his special funnel was wobbling since it was getting old. Peter Sam was worrying, especially when he had been puffing around carefully and watching it. Just one day he had just made it to the big station delivering his passengers when he met Thomas. My funnel feels faulty, complained Peter Sam. Maybe you must have had another crash, chuckled Thomas. But Peter Sam didn't know Thomas was joking. I have a faulty funnel, he complained. It's all right, said Thomas. Perhaps you could ask the Fat Controller to see what he can do for you. Before Peter Sam could speak, the guard's whistle blew. Goodbye, Peter Sam, said Thomas. I hope the Fat Controller will do anything to fix your funnel. Peter Sam hoped Thomas was right, and he puffed out of the station miserably. Later, he came back to the sheds, feeling miserable, and he told the other engines all about it. My special funnel feels wobbly, he complained. I wish there's something to make it stop. But all the other engines laughed. You and your special funnel, teased Bertram. You've had that same sort of problem before, and I can't believe you're having it again. And all the other engines laughed, but Peter Sam did not find this amusing. Later that day, Peter Sam was still worrying over his wobbly special funnel. He was taking some slate from the Blue Mountain Quarry to the slate mines. As Peter Sam went down the hill, he slipped. He was worried that if he slipped down the hill, his funnel would come off. Luckily, his driver applied the brakes. He looked back and checked on Peter Sam's funnel. Don't worry, he said. Your funnel will be all right. Then he inspected the track. It will be wind and rain tomorrow. We better get a move on. And so Peter Sam puffed out of the tunnel and went through the bridge. That night, wind and rain came. It blew through trees and forests, and it rained on the tracks. Leaves were everywhere, and it went all over hills and bridges, and it especially had damped all the tracks, and it will soon lead to other accidents. But the engines were still in their sheds while that was happening, but it became much colder still. Until the next day, when the wind and rain was over, Peter Sam was making good progress. He was taking some passengers to Harwick on his special coach. He was enjoying this. He went through a tunnel, but he couldn't see a thing. But then there was trouble. Watch out, shouted the driver. But then there was trouble. Peter Sam came out of the tunnel, a different looking engine. Then he realised there was trouble. My special funnel, he shouted. It's gone, he told his driver. Don't panic, warned the driver. We'll go back inside that tunnel and find your funnel. Please, panicked Peter Sam, or my passengers will be delayed. Don't panic already, said his crew, and so they went back to the tunnel to find Peter Sam's old special funnel. A few moments after, Peter Sam's special funnel was nowhere to be found, but the driver and fireman found something. I found this rock in the tunnel, Peter Sam, said the driver. I think that's what's hit your special funnel. Don't worry. When we get back, I promise we will get a new one. I hope so, said Peter Sam sadly. The driver and fireman got back on board Peter Sam, and Peter Sam puffed away without his old special funnel. Until at last, Peter Sam arrived at Harwich Station where Ryan was waiting. Oh dear, Peter Sam, said Ryan looking so shocked. You don't look so good. You need to get a new funnel today, he said. Let's hope the Fat Controller will give you a new one before it's too late. And Ryan puffed away with his passengers on board. Peter Sam looked terrible. Then he puffed away looking miserable for the rest of the day. When he got back to the sheds, all the other engines laughed at him. Peter Sam was even more worse than before, but it was almost the end of his teasing when... Enough, said a loud voice. Coming towards them was the Fat Controller, and he had a big white box in his hand. The Fat Controller soon turned his attention first to Peter Sam. Driver told me when he got back from the station that you had troubles with your old special funnel. But, he said, a while ago, I've been making plans. And now, in this crate contains your special funnel. I trust you will take care of it. Thank you, sir, said Peter Sam happily. As long it stays stuck forever. And, said the Fat Controller, I trust you'll take care of it until I realise I will not afford to have you being teased by the other engines again. Are we clear? He said to the other three, who has now stopped their teasing then. Until in that day on, Peter Sam was very happy with his new special funnel. Driver said it was better than his old special funnel, but Peter Sam didn't care. He was also happy to be watching his steam go on the new special funnel, and he was also glad that he was never losing another special funnel anymore. And the other engines have also stopped their teasing, and they now wish they had a special funnel like Peter Sam's.